Audience, welcome. It looks like we have our guest that has arrived to the Sean Inspires show. We're going to get right into it. Welcome, George Hendley, to the Sean Inspires podcast. I'm so glad to have you. How are you today?
I am doing well, Sean. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. So let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and introduce to the listening audience by way of your bio. So today, guys, we have joining us George, who's the founder of George Henley Presentations, a training, coaching, consultant firm that he established in 1992. He is also the founder of the Speakers Academy in 2011 that has been his primary focus for 9 years. At the Speakers Academy, he works with business leaders who want to speak with confidence. During the past 29 years, George wrote over 150 articles on a variety of timely and relevant topics. Those topics include presentation skills, listening, leadership, attitude, and understanding body language. He also co-authored Meditations for the Road Warrior with 10 other professional speakers. He posts frequent tips and insights on his Speakers Academy Facebook and LinkedIn page that are clear, brief, and practical. His zeal for learning and the desire to teach and mentor others make him a passionate, enthusiastic, and competent presenter. He is eager to help you on your learning and life quest. I love how this bio closes. He loves to learn and help others learn how to live a life that is productive, prosperous, and powerful. Well, George, thank you so much. If you could kindly tell us in your own words, that's your official bio, just a little bit about yourself as we go into this segment. Thank you.
Sean, a pleasure to be with you today. Back behind me, I have four bookcases, not all stacked on top of each other, but scattered around my office. On one particular bookcase, I have a little plaque that was gifted to me about, 18 years ago. And it has these two Latin words, ancora imparo. Those were the maxim or life motto, if you will, of Michelangelo. Those Latin words mean, still I am learning. And so I love that mindset. I love that attitude. And that's one that I have tried to adopt over the last 20 plus years since I've been in business. The thing that I love most about the people I coach is they put themselves into a learner's mode and enter what I call the learning laboratory with me. And that's a place of fun. That's a place of engagement. That's a place of excitement. That's a place where we can roll up our sleeves and experiment with things that will help them continue to grow and improve. You said it in the bio. I work with business leaders who want to speak with confidence. That's it, in a nutshell. Can't say it any closer, simpler, shorter than that. That really says what I do today. I'm so happy to be with you today.
I am so glad to have you here with us on the Sean Inspires podcast. Thank you so much. I can feel the enthusiasm and that passion. So if we could, let's talk a little about where the passion for coaching, where did that come from? What kind of sparked your interest? And also, did you always have a desire to move in the avenue as a coach?
Well, actually, the desire to coach really started back when I was in high school. I knew, at least that's what I was thinking at the time, I knew that I wanted to be a teacher and coach. Of course, it was in a different context. The context that I thought I was going to be engaged with was the context of public school teaching and coaching as an athletic type of teacher and coach. So I didn't go that direction, but I've always had a desire and a love for learning and a desire and love to instill that opportunity into the lives of others around me. This is what I believe way back then. I felt that, as an example, if I could gain confidence, self-confidence, and boost my self-esteem by way of my athletic achievements, and I could do the same thing to help other young men or young women do the same thing, that would be my bread and butter. That would be my ice cream and cake. So again, I didn't go into the particular public school arena teaching and coaching, but I've always been development of adults by way excuse me, of teaching and coaching.
I love how it was tactical strategy, how you already internally knew that you would use your athletic ability, take those skill sets, and then later on turn them into a greater avenue of where you are now and having built such an amazing business dynamic as a coach. When you founded the Speakers Academy in 2011, and I know you've coached so many people, but if you could share some of the commonalities of challenges that a lot of the speakers face as you have been coaching and developing them as leaders, what are some of the common challenges that you've seen over the time that you've been coaching?
I'll be happy to share that, Sean. By the way, October this month marks 10 years for my celebration of the Speakers Academy. Here's what I learned way back when my early days of consulting and training and speaking. As I began to get into the arena of specifically coaching and training people on how to improve their skill set and their confidence with speaking, I saw the commonality that there was truly the overarching issue of confidence. Now, you might say, okay, George, how do you develop confidence? Well, it's very simple. Let's think back, shall we, to our early days in school. In first grade, as an example, you watched your teacher as he or she wrote on the chalkboard or whiteboard the letter A, then the letter B, then the letter C, etc., all the way through X, Y, and Z. You watched them perform that very simple task, and then they probably said, students, copy what I've put here on the board. So you were taught by example what to do. You saw that example in motion, in action, and then you began to copy it. You began to imitate it. You began to follow the example of your teacher. Now, your first trial probably wasn't really successful from the point of view of having straight lines or good curves, but you began the learning process. And all learning takes place through time with someone teaching and or coaching you through the early steps of the process, and then you copy or imitate or follow the example of the teacher or the coach. And over time, as you get better and the feedback that person or other people around you give you gets stronger and more positive, you build confidence. You build confidence as a toddler as you took your first 2, 3, 4 little steps before you fell on your bahunkus and your mommy and daddy said, "Oh, great job." And then you got up and tried it again and again and again and again. And that is the simplicity of building confidence in every realm of your life.
Wow, that's amazing. That confidence is the commonality that you have witnessed in most of your coaching clients. That's amazing.
That's right.
And making sure that is the core and the foundation of what is in them in order that they can successfully move forward. I love that, building that confidence. And kudos to you. You mentioned this is actually your month of 10 years. So I would like to wish you a congratulations on all of the success that you're doing. So as
Thank you.
I'm saying, you're welcome very much. As I'm saying that, I will lead in by asking my next question. What has been one of your highest joys since you've started the Speakers Academy and since you've been a coach?
Yeah, well, I would say that this is probably one of the big moments of celebration. And that is when you see your students or your coachees or those that you're mentoring, you see them succeed. Now, I've had so many different people under my coaching tutelage over the last 10 years. I've had real estate agents, I've had business coaches, I've had medical doctors, I've had CPAs, I've had financial advisors, I've had just you name it, every profession that practically you can imagine, I've had them in my classes and in my one-on-one coaching. And the thing that I get the greatest joy from is watching them build confidence and starting to see success as they begin to deliver little short speeches and then longer speeches, and then stand in front of an audience and feel the applause and the success that they've rightfully worked for and attained. That is my number one enjoyment.
Wow, dynamic, absolutely dynamic. And for the listening audience of anyone out there that may have aspirations to become a coach and feel that pull and feel that tug in moving in that direction, what would be some advice that you could share with those that are listening who really feel that they're not sure exactly how to take that leap of faith, take that next step of confidence, which it takes that
Mm-hmm.
confidence? What would be a guidepost strategy you could possibly share with the audience?
Very simple. Find the best circle of coaches that you can associate with and learn and keep learning. In other words, you will never know it all, but you must surround yourself with the most competent, most knowledgeable, most experienced, most giving people, and then watch them, listen to them, see what they do, how they do it, and then don't try to copy them, but try to take what you see is easy for you to adapt and pull that into your realm and make it your own. Make it your own. And that way, then you're not going to be a little Zig Ziglar, as an example. You will be the best Sean Allen that you can be. And that's what's really important, because you will set then your own direction, your own pace, and you will become noted for who you are with all the strengths and uniquenesses that you bring to the table. And you won't be looked at as someone who went before you.
Love that. Love that. Find your the best. And that is great advice. That is a great strategy. Find the best circle of coaches and then stay in a place of being open to keep learning. I think,
Absolutely.
George, with you sharing that is a great strategy for the aspiring coaches out there that are listening. Take exactly action. Take action and surround yourself with the best. I love that word, best. It's amazing. And the next thing is we have been journeying through COVID, and we've seen so many different transitions with businesses and leadership trying to do things differently and still navigate successfully. In your coaching business, what have you experienced as a coach during COVID and even now as we journey through it? What has been some of the highs or lows, if there was any lows in your business? What were some of those things that you experienced during COVID?
Well, Sean, you've heard me cough a couple of times during this interview, and that is the result of me dealing with the COVID monster. I contracted it roughly a month ago, and it wasn't until about a week ago that I really began to feel almost normal. But I'm not completely 100% back to myself. So I've had my own personal challenges dealing with this particular time. Now, sort of in a bigger sense, I was doing Zoom type coaching, one-on-one coaching with clients all over the United States before COVID rolled into town. So it wasn't that I was starting off completely new and unaware of this particular platform that we're using today. But all of a sudden, I had to shift completely away from doing face-to-face, one-on-one coaching or face-to-face training in a small group environment. So that was a major shift. And quite frankly, it really challenged my business. So the best thing that I knew to do personally was to open my door, so to speak, and invite all comers to join me for free Zoom training sessions. And I did just that starting in March of 2020. For over a year, I offered a weekly Zoom coaching session online via this opportunity of a virtual portal. And I had people from literally all over the world join me for those free sessions. They were getting something they needed, which was connection.